that it's time for another live Q&A all about eBay and Amazon dropshipping. This is just a chance for me to sit down, hang out with you guys. You can ask any questions that you want about dropshipping and I'll do my best to answer them. Even if you're not here live, ask your question in the comment section of any of my videos. I take screenshots of them, put them up on the screen just like this, and I'll answer them during my next live Q&A. But if you're here live, ask your question on the right-hand side if you're on the desktop, underneath in the live chat, and then consider coming back for another future live Q&A by subscribing to the channel down below so that you don't miss out. You can also hit the little bell notification so you get alerted every time that I go live, but it's generally Wednesday nights. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story first, something kind of funny that happened to me today. So I brought my dog to the vet today. He's not feeling so great. He's got a little bit of a cough. And when I come back, I see that I have two packages on my front steps. Both of them are obviously from Amazon. This one has the Amazon smile on it. This one says Prime on it. So the first one I open up is something I was expecting, and that's a book that actually my sister wrote, and she self-published on Amazon. Really proud of her, called Untethered by Amy Rose Lipsky. Super proud of her that she managed to self-publish her own book on Amazon and figured it out. I might actually have her on the channel if she wants to do that. I haven't even asked her yet to talk about how she self-published her own book onto Amazon. She's already making sales on it, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, I'll definitely have her on the channel maybe to talk about that if you guys are interested. But the second package, I was like, I don't remember ordering anything else from Amazon, so I ripped it open and pulled it out, and it was this security camera. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I had ordered that. So it's a little like security camera. It's like this really simple one that a lot of people use called a Wise Cam. So I was like, oh, I was so excited, started to set it up, and I was like, okay, now that I know it works, I want to order another one. So I go into Amazon, go into my orders to replace an order. I'm like, where is it? I don't see it. And then I remembered, oh, wait, I didn't order this from Amazon. I ordered this from Walmart. So I had actually bought this from Walmart, and the person I bought it from was a drop shipper on Walmart. They were drop shipping Amazon items onto Walmart. And that's what happened. I got drop shipped on is what happened. So it's kind of funny that that happened. But the cool thing is that, you know, all I did when I got it was I ripped open the package. I saw it was the item and it said, oh yeah, I did order that. I'm so glad it arrived. So a lot of people always ask, what happens when a customer gets an item in the wrong package? And in this case, I did, and I didn't even notice until I went to reorder it, which was pretty funny. So I did a little bit of digging around. I'm gonna share my screen to show you what I ordered here. So this is what I ordered. It's called a Wise Cam. It was $44.97 on Walmart. So I looked around. I don't personally dropship on Walmart, but I know people who do it. And this person obviously did. And I saw that for this category, they charge a 15% fee, which means that after the $44.97, this person would have received $38.22 from Walmart. Now on Amazon, this item is $25.98, and that's free shipping if you're Amazon Prime, which this person obviously was based on how fast I got it. And they also are probably tax exempt as well. So that means they made $12.24 profit off of this. So props to them for doing that. Inside the package, they had gift receipts. So I couldn't see the price of the item, although I was able to find it, obviously, after the fact. But just kind of want to break that down. It's pretty interesting. I've heard of people drop shipping on Walmart. Obviously, I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to do in the future. I'm definitely probably more interested now than I've ever been before because this happened to me. But, you know, if I start doing it, I'll definitely let you guys know. I'll definitely make some videos about it, but don't have any set plans to do that right at the moment. So let's see who's here in the chat, and then I'll break down some other eBay news that's been going on. Let's see. How you pass? Hey, what's up, Bobby? Thanks for being here. What's up, Robbie? Says, what's up, hustlers? Here's to an awesome Q4. Couldn't agree more. This video is being recorded right at the end of October. So we're really moving into the best part of Q4, which is November, December. What's up, Nikki and Lazy Abram back? Thanks for being here. Manuel says, can you tell us some tips for finding hot products? There's a 3-step process that I use. So what I recommend is in the description of this video, there'll be a link to a webinar that I've done, and you should check that out because in that webinar, I teach exactly how to find these hot products, that 3-step system that I use. So I definitely check out that free webinar down in the description. Are there any other dropship programs rather than eBay and Amazon? Marco wants to know. If by programs you mean different websites you can dropship on, yes, you can do it on Walmart, for instance. That's a place that people can do it. Let's see what's up. Thanks for being here. Lazy everyone says, oh, wise. I remember drop shipping those cameras when I was using Amazon, LOL. Hey, thanks for the awesome compliment, Robbie. Do I suggest piggyback or original listings for Amazon? So that's a good question. When you're drop shipping on Amazon, what you're going to find is you're going to find an item on Walmart. Like, well, that's not a good example. Let's say they're selling these Rubik's cubes, these speed cubes on Walmart, and they're not, and people are also drop shipping them on Amazon. So the cool thing is that if someone else is already selling this on Amazon, you know how well the item is going to do. You know what the sales history of that is. You know what the bestseller rank is. So you don't have to waste your time listing this up for sale on Amazon if no one's going to buy it. You're only going to piggyback off of a listing if you know it's already selling well. And by piggyback, I mean so with Amazon has a catalog. So when you create a listing, you don't create a listing like you do with eBay, where you give your own title, your own photos, your own description. No, every product basically in the world has its own product on Amazon. And if it doesn't have it, someone else can create a new listing for the catalog with that item. So if there's already a listing for this Rubik's Cube, which surely there is, then if you also want to sell one, then you can piggyback off that listing by pressing a button on Amazon's website that says, hey, I also have one of these for sale. I want to sell it too at this price. So I do recommend the piggybacks as to creating your own new listing, because when you're doing the piggyback, you already have the sales history. You know it's going to sell well. It saves you a lot of time. It's a lot easier to do than creating your own listing. The other part of this is that, let's say there's already a listing on Amazon for this. You are technically not allowed to create a new one for the same item. So that's not allowed. There are ways you could, like let's say you create a listing for like 3 of these, for instance. That would be a different listing, although it gets a little complicated then, because then it's like a variation. But let's say you wanted to list up for sale this one plus a bigger cube with more, it's like a 4x4 instead of a 3x3, and pair them together. That could be a different listing, for instance. Okay. Mike wants to know how I handle cancellations. Do you have a cutoff? I figure it's better to cancel than have a return. Yeah, so, our cutoff is when we start placing orders, that's the cutoff. It doesn't matter if it's been, 6 hours or 6 minutes. As soon as you start placing orders, that's the cutoff. Otherwise, it gets too confusing. Okay. Okay, so I need that huge chair you were sitting in, this couch, yeah. Okay. All right, so let me do some little bit of eBay news because I kind of skipped over that, and then we'll go back to the questions. All right, so this is pretty interesting. We saw this inside on e-commerce bites, which is a website devoted to like eBay and Amazon sellers. and this was posted up inside the eBay forums. So we've been talking a lot recently in the past year about eBay's managed payment system. Basically, eBay is moving away from using PayPal, and they want to create their own system where everything is done directly on ebay.com. So you don't have to then go to PayPal to finish the purchase. Now they're slowly rolling this out. They're actually telling some sellers that it's a benefit to do it, but some sellers have tried it and said it's not as good. eBay said that one of the benefits is that you will actually get your money faster. Now currently, we get our money really fast, so I don't see how it could be faster. Right now, the way it works is someone buys the item on eBay, but they pay for it on PayPal. Assuming you're out of PayPal jail, that money is now available to you on PayPal right away. And you can transfer it to your bank account. There's two different ways to do it. One is the free transfer, which takes 2 to 3 days. And the second is an instant transfer, which costs $10 no matter how much or how little you transfer. So that's instantaneous. So I don't know how eBay thinks they can compete with or be faster than instantaneous, but that's what they said. But as it turns out, there's some problems. There's a seller who says they haven't received a single payment in the last 11 days. And lots of people are saying between the 15th of October through now, which is October 23rd, they haven't received a single payment from eBay's managed payment system. And this poor woman is saying that, eBay's holding $4,000 of her money, and she has to pay a mortgage, she has medical bills, and they're all due, and she can't pay them because eBay won't release the money. So pretty alarming that this is happening, pretty sad that eBay is rolling out this managed payment system and just obviously didn't work out the kinks all the way with that one. But eventually, hopefully they work out all the kinks before they require all of us to use it. So when it comes, everything works fine. Now, the second thing I wanted to kind of talk about is, remember before when I was talking about Amazon's catalog system and how it's different from eBay? Well, eBay is trying to do a catalog system. They've been trying to do this now for, I guess, a couple of years, slowly to varying degrees. And it seems like sporadically they'll quickly try to do more with it and then kind of slow down. And it's kind of hard to tell what they're trying to do with it. This was kind of interesting because they have now created a competition where they're trying to get college students to compete to create a product catalog or way to quickly categorize all the items on eBay into a product catalog. And whatever students win that competition get the great privilege of getting to intern at eBay for free. And this just shocked me when I saw this, because this sounds like something that's complicated and something that they've tried to roll out slowly in the past, and there's been some issues with it. And now they're trying to pass it off. They're trying to get someone to do it for free. And then the reward for doing it for free is that they then get to work for eBay for free. It just made me shake my head a little bit. eBay, just pay someone to do it. Pay someone to do it the right way. I don't know, my 2 cents there. All right, so let's see who's here. What other questions you guys have? Brian is here, one of my students. What's up, Brian? Says, hey, Paul, I'm currently doing $20,000 a month in sales on eBay. So congratulations, Brian. That's awesome. I have 2 virtual assistants and list about 10 items a day. I prune daily. What would be your best advice to get those numbers doubled? So Brian, first of all, I think you should be doing more than 10 items a day. I don't know if all those virtual assistants are listing. If you're listing, I would definitely have one of those virtual assistants listing a few hours a day, and they should be doing a lot more than 10 items a day. So get that number up, because if you can double that to 20 items a day, that you've just doubled your productivity, and it's going to exponentially grow at that point. The other thing to consider, and I think I told you this before, is that we are now moving into November, into December. Your sales are naturally just going to pick up. Towards the end of November, it's going to be insane. A lot of my students who started around the same time that you did, so have good solid base by this time of the year, moving into November, you're going to be really surprised at what you see at the end of November and through the end of Christmas, it's just going to be a big increase. People go crazy that time of year. Okay. Shame on eBay. Shame. Has anyone bought a course from Paul with Amazon dropshipping? Is that a question to me or someone in the chat? They're videos. So the Amazon course is all videos. It's not really like this. It's more like over my shoulder. So it's all screen sharing. You get to watch as I set up an Amazon account, and they're very, concrete. Like I'm not stumbling like I am right now. It's very like it flows step by step. That's the word I was looking for. It's very step by step and concise. That was the other word I was looking for. And it just walks you through how to set up your Amazon dropshipping business. What are your thoughts on having separate site for tools, one for electronics and so forth? Is it a good idea? I think you mean a different eBay store, you mean? Sorry about that, guys. So you mean like different eBay stores, one for tools, one for electronics and different things like that? I don't think that's necessary, especially in the beginning. Something you can experiment with later, but in the beginning, I think it's totally fine to have everything in one store. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't think you have to build multiple stores right out of the bat. Gain experience on one store. Make that store work, and then you can always add more stores later. What's up, David? Thanks for being here. Okay, let's see. Bobby just bought your VA course. Thanks, Bobby. You're going to really like it. It's really going to help you hire and train virtual assistants. You're really going to like it. Okay, so let's look at some of these questions. Well, first, a shout out to another one of my students, Crystal. Another one of my eBay students said, y'all, I love the y'all, just needed to celebrate for a short moment. Bought the course only a week ago and made my first sale today. I've never been so excited to make $3. But if I can do it once, I can do it over and over and over again. Crystal, you definitely understand the system. In less than a week, you've made your first sale, which is incredible. And you already understand that this can be replicated over and over and over again. So congratulations to you. This is one of the things I love about dropshipping, eBay, or Amazon, is that you can get started quickly and start making sales quickly. It's not something like FBA, where it requires a lot of research up front, buying a bunch of inventory up front, shipping it to Amazon, and it could be several months before your items are even live on Amazon, and even longer potentially for you to even make a sale. Something like dropshipping, it's very responsive. You start listing up items, you can get sales right away, and you can adjust. These sales are working, these ones aren't, and you can adjust to do more of what's working, and you can get there quicker. Okay, Jade says, hey, I've been watching your videos, and I decided to set up an eBay account and start dropshipping. I was wondering, though, if I should start selling small items at first. If so, how small and for how long? Thank you. So I think it's always a smart idea to concentrate at first on selling cheaper items because they're going to sell faster. And one of the things you want to do as a new seller is sell items. I know it sounds silly, but you want to sell items, not necessarily make a profit or much profit. And the reason for that is because once you start to make sales, eBay is going to increase your limits, which means that you can then list up for sale more items, and you're going to get more feedback, which gains buyers' trust, so more buyers will feel comfortable buying the more expensive items from you. So you can start out with these cheaper items, and then once your limits increase, keep adding the cheaper items, but also add more expensive items. Eventually, you'll see that the more expensive items are continuing to sell, so you don't have to keep listing or selling the cheaper items. Okay, KJ says, hey, I just opened a new eBay account for dropshipping today, but they suspended me right away, but then I got it reinstated after a quick call. Time to get to it. Yeah, that's very normal, KJ. What happens is they just want to verify that you are who you said you are. So you just call them up, verify your identity. Good to go. Good to go. I want to thank you, Bethany, for this awesome comment about my Amazon course, saying it's very thorough and well worth the money. So thank you for that vote of confidence. Okay. Okay, so another question, is it possible to do eBay dropshipping and Amazon dropshipping at the same time? And sorry for so many questions. You should not apologize for your questions because they are good questions. And most questions are good questions. But I like this question. Is it possible to do both? Absolutely it is. Although I would say it's a smarter idea to start with one platform and get pretty good at that one before you add on the other one. I just don't want to see you trying to divide your time and attention into two different platforms and not seeing success with either of them. What I've seen is that it works better to concentrate on one, see success with that one, and then add on an additional one. That way you already know what has to work for the first platform, and then you can apply what you already know and your attention onto the second one, while your first one kind of runs with less of your attention because maybe you have virtual assistants running it. What tips, advice would you tell me before learning about Walmart dropshipping? Well, like I said in the beginning, I don't do Walmart dropshipping, but one of the things I've discovered while looking at it is that you definitely want to check what the fees are, because the fees do differ for different categories. So that's something you do want to be aware of. You also want to find a way to manage your inventory so that items don't go out of stock on Amazon and then they stay in stock on Walmart. You just got to be careful with that. I don't know why I keep yawning. I apologize, guys. Okay. Let's see. All right. So Cruz says tips for covering the purchase costs to place orders. Meanwhile, funds become available. I just realized while I'm yawning, I'm talking too fast, losing my breath a little bit. All right. So that's a good question. So when you start drop shipping on Amazon, or when you drop ship on Amazon, Amazon holds your money for 2 weeks. So for those 2 weeks, you got to still buy the item and ship it out to your customer before Amazon releases the money to you. How do you do that without the money? Well, use a credit card. That's the best way to do it. Use a credit card for that. Or after 3 months, you can sign up for Payability, which is a really good service for any seller on Amazon, because Payability will front you or advance you, so to speak, 80% of how much you made yesterday on Amazon. So you have a continuous cash flow. Then once Amazon releases that money to you, Payability takes how much you owe them. So. Okay, so how many listings should we have listed? I've maxed out on AutoDS. So you should list as many as eBay allows you to list, basically. Keep listing more and more items. If you reach your max on AutoDS, then you should sign up for a bigger plan, because the more items you have, the more items you're going to sell. Oh, do you have an email where I can reach you? It's personal and very embarrassing. Sure, you can send it to paul@pauljlipsky.com, or go to dropshippingtitans.com, and on the bottom right is a Facebook chat bubble. You can click on that, and that message comes to me as well, if you prefer Facebook Messenger. Or hop on your phone, and on Instagram, you could send me a DM. Okay. All right, so good question from Mike D. Mike D wants to know how much listing templates actually matter. He's noticed that AutoDS, which is a software used to help me list items and reprice items and manage my eBay store, he's noticed that that comes with templates. Should I be using those templates? Should I get a custom template? Or should I use no template? And Mike, you know the answer to this because you say it right in your question. You say, I have seen 6-figure stores with plain text descriptions, no descriptions. What's my opinion? My opinion is it really doesn't matter that much, the templates. Now, I prefer to have professional looking templates. I prefer to have a more professional looking store, so I don't have the plain text ones. I do use templates, but I just use one of the most basic ones inside AutoDS. Yes, they have ones that are a little bit more fancy. Yes, they have ones for certain holidays, but I just do the plain ones, and that just keeps it professional, keeps it nice, but simple. Okay, so Mike asks, hey, sorry, I don't know why my text is appearing twice. And then he says, hey, sorry, I don't know why my text is appearing twice again. David says that yawning time of the year. I guess so. Okay. Next question from this week. Okay, so I made a video recently about how to dropship on Home Depot if you live outside the United States. And a lot of you guys that are international sellers really like that video. You want to see more videos like that, so I'm going to try to do that. And in that video, I said that you should be using gift cards to check out on Home Depot. And Makiza, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, says, that's a great video. How should I pay for a gift? How much should I pay for a gift card? Now, for any gift card that you buy, you should never pay more than what it's worth. And for some of you, that might sound really silly. Why would you pay more for a gift card than the gift card is worth? But I have seen people selling gift cards like that. They'll sell a $100 gift card for like $102, which I know sounds silly, but I've seen it. So I don't think you should do that at all. You can get the gift card at cost, so spend $100, get a $100 gift card, or ideally you get a discounted gift card. Maybe a $100 gift card that's $95, so you get 5% off. Different things like that. That's obviously better than the one that's at cost, but never pay more than what the card's worth. Okay. Is it okay to use suppliers from Walmart, Best Buy, or Foot Locker, or it has to be a specific supplier? You can use any other retail website to dropship onto eBay or Amazon, but you just want to check if the software that you're using that helps you manage your dropshipping business, if it works with those stores. So everything's going to work with Walmart. Some things work with Best Buy. I don't know of any really that work with Foot Locker, but I've never checked Foot Locker. Just make sure that whatever software you're using works with those suppliers. That way you don't have to manage the inventory yourself or the repricing and restocking yourself. Marco says, sometimes some of my items have a 470% click-through rate. How is that possible? So that's where you getting the 400? Where is that number coming from? You're saying you have a 470% click-through rate. Where did you get that number from? Okay. Yeah. Any suggestions for ramping up Q4 with eBay dropshipping? Yeah, definitely. Right now, you should start listing up things for Thanksgiving and Christmas decorations as well. Just start listing Christmas decorations and Christmas gifts and even some Thanksgiving stuff right now, because you want those in your stores ready to go in November, because that's when people start to buy decorations, so that Black Friday and the days after Thanksgiving, they could quickly put up all their decorations. I know in my family, we would have Thanksgiving, and the next day the tree went up the next day. So it's only possible if you have a tree. So I know a lot of families are the same way. Okay. Jenny's here, says, hey Paul, pretty funny that you got drop shipped too. That happens to me. And they were using Sam's Club as a supplier. Yeah. I think we should know better, but we don't. What's up, Go? Says, I made my second and third sale today. About $12 profit. Laugh out loud. I'm pretty hyped. Awesome job. All right. So the next question I have around $300 to $500 that I can use in order to start Amazon dropshipping. Do you think that is realistically enough? So that's enough. That's enough. That's going to cover your software and some of the inventory, but really that's going to cover the software that you need to run your business, get everything set up. But then you also need a credit card to actually buy the products and ship them to the customers, because like I said before, Amazon's holding your money for 2 weeks. So you definitely still need a credit card for that. Okay, so back to that video about drop shipping from Home Depot. I recommended that you check out as a guest. So the question is, when we pay as a guest, what happens to the rest of the gift card and how to deal with returns? A few different questions there. So gift cards. If you get a Home Depot gift card, it's not tied to a certain account. So when you get an Amazon gift card and you add it to your Amazon account, no one else can use it. It's now inside your Amazon account. But with Home Depot, that's not the case. I can get a Home Depot gift card, and let's say it's $100. I could spend $23. Then I can give it to someone else who can spend $20 and give it to someone else who can use $20 on it. So it's not tied to one account. Now, the returns are still easy with Home Depot, even with a guest checkout. All you need is the order number, the email you used when you did the guest checkout, and the billing address. That's all you need. And you get all of that emailed to you. So when you place the order, they're going to email you at the email address for that order. And inside that email is going to have the order number. So that's what you need to get started with a return. And then once the item is returned, Home Depot will then email you a new gift card for the cost of how much the return was. It's kind of a confusing question. Okay, so Keep It On says, hey Paul, just curious on your thoughts about this. A buyer left feedback saying, beware, seller is buying for X amount on Walmart and selling for X amount on eBay. I guess he did some research. But he left it under positive feedback, probably by accident. eBay says they cannot remove it because it's under positive feedback. It's kind of a big sore to see it. What should I do? Has this ever happened to you? I have received negative comments for feedback that was positive. And at first I was like, I did call. I wanted to get it removed, but they wouldn't remove it. And then I realized that after a few days or a few weeks, I'll get more positive feedback, and that negative comment will just get buried. And look, most people don't scroll through all your positive feedback reading the comments. If people are going to read comments, they're going to read the negative comments, not the positive ones. Or rather, the comments attached to negative feedback, not the comments attached to positive feedback. I mean, right? Doesn't that make sense? If you're shopping for an item, like if you're looking at reviews for this camera, you might look to see what the overall review is. And this got like 4.8 stars or something. It's really high. But even though it got 4.8 stars, I still look at the negative, the 1-star reviews, the negative reviews. And I look at the comments for those ones. But I don't read the comments, as many comments for the positive ones, because I just want to see that overall people like it. But I also like to see in the negative feedback what it is that the few people who are complaining about. I hope that makes sense. I think a lot of other people feel the same way about it as well. Okay, let's see. Witty username says, I always check every single supplier's website to make sure I am truly getting the cheapest price, yet a dropshipper still found a way to ship it to me with the profit for himself. Yeah. Actually didn't even look. I just bought it and got dropshipped on. Andrell says, I'm considering purchasing your course, but got nervous with the new eBay item specifics. Is everything still okay now for dropshipping on eBay? Yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit of an eBay glitch. I mean, the funny part is that eBay if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, eBay recently came out with a new update where they're requiring more item specifics for items and requiring them. And if you don't have the required item specifics on your existing listings, then your listings won't reprice correctly in a lot of cases. They won't relist in certain circumstances, although eBay says it will relist, but then they also say kind of won't. You also can't list the items unless you have the correct item specifics. But it was an update, but then it was also kind of a glitch because it was just implemented kind of poorly. Whatever. It's being worked out. I made a video Monday explaining how to fix it for your existing listings. And once you fix it, they're fixed. And we haven't had any issues since then. Yes, it was a pain to fix them all. But if you go through the video I showed on Monday, I show like a faster way of doing it, a quicker way, which I know is saving a lot of people a lot of time. By the way, what do you mean about the software you choose? So let me give eBay as an example because that one's pretty straightforward. Dropshipping on eBay, you're going to use a software that's going to help you quickly list your items onto eBay. It's going to reprice them if the price changes on your supplier's website, and it's going to make sure that the items go out of stock on your eBay listings if they go out of stock on your supplier's website. The software that I use for that is called AutoDS. It does all of that. eBay, that's for eBay. If you're doing it on Amazon, there's kind of a two-part system. There's Web Scraper app and Informed. And those work together to do the same things that I just described, but on Amazon, not on eBay. And that AutoDS for eBay, that is linked up in the description of this video if you want to check that out. But as I was saying, so these softwares don't work with every supplier out there. So you have to see what suppliers they do work with. And I would just use those suppliers. All right, so do you use the VA account options on AutoDS? Yes, I do. If a VA is just listing, do they need access to anything else besides the uploader? So Mike, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, on AutoDS, there is an option to give a virtual assistant just limited access to your AutoDS account. That way they don't have access to your full account. So I definitely use that with my virtual assistants. And I think the only thing that my lister has access to is the uploader. I'm pretty sure that's it. If you're not sure, just give them access to only the uploader. And if they're saying they're having issues, then find out what else you need to give them access to. But I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. Oh, yes. Have I looked into the Green Dot account? It gives 3% cash back and no limits. Yes, Robbie, I have. So Green Dot is a prepaid debit card, right? Let me know if the comments if I'm wrong. Pretty sure that's right because I've looked into this. And the Green Dot account, I thought the last time it was 2%. Maybe it's 3% now. Well, let's look. Let's look. I have the internet. Green Dot. If it's what I'm thinking it was, see, I've already looked at it. It's unlimited cashback bank account by Green Dot. Sign up and get $50. 3% cash back on online and in-app purchases. Maybe this is a new one that I didn't look at. This is pretty cool. 3% is big. 2% is pretty much the highest you'll see. 3% is good. And a high yield savings account that pays 3% annual percentage yield. That's really good as well, guys. 3% annual yield is really high. I mean, Ally Bank used to be one of the highest, and they've dropped now, I think, to below 2%, if I'm not mistaken. 3% is really high for a savings account. Let's see what else. Free ATMs. FDIC, so that's good. All right, so this is, yeah, that's a different credit card. So this is a debit card too, which means there's no credit check, which is also pretty cool. The problem with these, the last time I looked, and I'm not sure if this is still the case, is that it's hard to reload them with enough money. There's like a limit on how much you can load onto them every day, and it was not enough for me. And it was so small, in fact, compared to the volume that I do, that it just wasn't possible at all. And unfortunately, I discovered that too late. I was actually using the American Express Serve card. That's what it was. So I was using the American Express Serve, and I got through the whole process, set it up, was so excited, and then I tried to upload, reload it. It worked. Tried to reload more. It wouldn't work. I found out there was a limit, and that was it. I had to stop using it. I canceled it. If there's a limit on how much you can reload it with every day, let's see. I'll share my screen again. Let's see, green dot unlimited load limit. I'm not sure what to search for here. You may only withdraw up to $3,000 per day. That's for the bank account. How much can you load on a green dot card? The reload at the register quickly. A deposit fee applies. That's not really cool. Watch how to reload at the register. Not interested in doing that. Yeah, I don't know. It really depends on how you reload it and how much you can reload each day. I'm not going to waste everyone's time looking into it right now. But that's what I would look at. If they don't leave feedback, should we ask for it? Yeah, you should, as long as the experience was a good one. If there's any problems with the order, don't ask for feedback. Just not worth the risk there. But yeah, there's like some people, especially in the beginning, will always ask for feedback for orders that went through fine, just because you're trying to build up your feedback and your positive feedback. What do you think of getting reviews by buying cheap items? Does that help? Yeah, it does. So what he's talking about is you can buy some cheap items off of eBay, and then the people that you buy them from are going to give you positive feedback. And when you buy something, you can only get positive feedback. And your feedback is based on what you buy and what you sell, which is so weird that eBay does it that way, but that's the way they do it. So even if you get 50 positive feedbacks for items that you bought, a seller is going to a buyer that you then sell to is only going to see that you receive 50 positive feedback, and it's just going to make you look better. Yes. Do I run any Black Friday promotions on Amazon or eBay, or run any promotions in general? So this is what's interesting. So I don't necessarily do it, but it still happens, because let's say I'm drop shipping this from Amazon to eBay. Amazon is going to put this on sale on Black Friday. And once it goes on sale, AutoDS is going to see that this price dropped on Amazon and automatically change the price on eBay for me to lower it. So a lot of my items on eBay and Amazon are going to be lowered in price on Black Friday because my suppliers have lowered their price. So effectively, I do run a Black Friday sale. Every time my supplier has a sale, I have a sale. It's just like if A equals B, then yeah. So that's the way it works. And the customers who are watching my items will suddenly see that this item dropped 5%, 10% in price, and they're then going to get excited and buy it. So it's pretty cool the way that works. Please talk slow sale, please. You want me to talk slower? Or what to do about slow sales? You should look up a video I made recently. It wasn't even that recent, but it's still relevant. It's a video I made all about how to improve slow sales. I would check that one out. Okay. I just seen the ad 5 minutes before your show. What ad was that for? Paul, return case just don't like. So I think you mean someone wants to return an item just because they don't want it. If that happens to you, then you have to check what your policies are. If you have free returns, then you have to accept a return. If you don't have free returns, then you could technically tell the buyer, I'm willing to accept this return, but you have to pay to ship it back. Now, with drop shipping, you're just going to get a return label from your supplier, and then you can give that return label to your customer, and the customer ships the item directly back to your supplier. But if for some reason you wanted to try to convince the buyer not to return it so you get to keep your money, then you could tell them they have to pay to ship back the item directly to you, in which case they might not do it. And if they then don't do it, then you get to keep your money, and there's no return. What do I think about selling books on Amazon through FBA? Thanks. That's not what I do, but I have some friends that do it and are absolutely crushing it. Seems pretty exciting, I'm not going to lie. It seems like some pretty cool stuff. And I've heard that there's some good courses coming out about it. I might check them out. Looks pretty cool to me. I've always liked books. So I might have to check some of that out one day, just kind of mess around. Okay, so is it possible for a customer to see the original price on the product? Yeah, so let me show you an example. So I think you're asking, like, this item that I got that was drop shipped from Walmart, am I able to see the original price? Well, here, one of the cool things about Amazon is that you can ask for a gift receipt. So these just are gift receipts. It doesn't have the price on here. So I'm not able to see the price for this. When you drop ship from Walmart onto eBay and Amazon, a lot of times they don't include any slip of paper in there. And with Home Depot, they always have a slip of paper, but the price is never there. So some suppliers, they will have the price. For instance, Lowe's has the price, but other ones won't have the price. Okay, so thanks, Paul. Appreciate your help. You asked me where I get the 470% click-through rate from. It's inside the performance and traffic. Yeah. So, yeah, that's because they calculate click-through rate a little bit strange. They're basically saying, hey, you have this item, and a lot of people keep clicking on this one item, and they're calculating your click-through rate not really the right way. What they should really look at is the percentage of people that have looked at your item and not clicked on, or rather the percentage of the people that have seen your item and clicked on it compared to how many people have seen the item overall. And they do like this weird other way that really doesn't make sense, just to try to make us sellers feel better and give us a higher click-through rate. So I pretty much ignore those because mathematically it doesn't really help you when they kind of give you these like kind of bogus click-through rates. All right, did I answer all the questions I saved up? Mar says, I heard Amazon will suspend a person's account if he or she dropships in Walmart, Target, etc. Can you clarify? So they don't if you follow the other rules. So the most important thing with Amazon is keeping your account in good health, keeping good metrics. I have a whole section in my Amazon dropshipping course devoted to metrics because they're so important. And one of the things I start out by saying in the beginning of the course is make sure you watch most of the course before you get started, because some people get excited. They start just right out of the gate, start listing up items, start making sales, and they don't realize that there are these little kind of nuanced things that Amazon requires of us as sellers that don't really make sense. It's just the way Amazon wants it done. And if you don't follow those rules, that's when your metrics can go down, and that's when you get in trouble. So you just got to follow the right system and follow the right rules, and your account is going to be fine. Okay. How do you drop ship from Lowe's if they include the price? I just do it. Customers complain sometimes, but it's really not that many. Is it possible to use Facebook ads to drive traffic to your eBay store? What do I think is better, eBay or Shopify for drop shipping? It is possible. I don't think the margins are really there. I think you're going to be spending money on ads, and then that's going to cut into your margins, and you're not going to make enough money to justify it. What do I think is better, eBay or Amazon? I'm pretty biased. I love eBay. What do I think is better, eBay or Shopify? I think eBay is better, but I'm a little biased because I've been selling on there for years. I really like it, and I know it works. And I've tried Shopify. I personally couldn't get it to work, but that was years ago when I tried it. I do know people who are really successful with it. I would love to have time to try it again, but right now eBay works, and I'm able to scale it, and so kind of biased, but I like it better. Okay, so Walmart has a policy about buying certain items like televisions only once every 21 days. Any idea about Best Buy or Costco? So I'm not really sure about Best Buy. With Costco, you're going to run into some issues trying to ship to different addresses. They're not the biggest fan of that either. So just be aware of that. But yeah, Walmart, a lot of these major electronics like televisions, they don't want you buying too many of them. Okay. Are all three of your courses separate? Yeah, so I have an eBay dropshipping course and an Amazon dropshipping course. And if you take my eBay course, you might then want to consider taking my virtual assistant course, which teaches you how to hire and train virtual assistants. Now, the eBay course is cheaper than the Amazon course. So the Amazon course is more expensive than the eBay course, but it not only teaches you how to dropship on Amazon, but I also go into how to hire and train virtual assistants in there. So it's kind of like an all-in-one. Where the eBay course, I wanted to keep it a little bit cheaper to allow people to get started, and they can always upgrade and get the virtual assistant course later. Okay, what's okay, so Wally says, I can't get my untracked listings tracked. Can I do new listings on AutoDS anyway? Yeah, you can, Wally. And I would reach out to the guys with AutoDS. They're pretty good. They obviously want you to come over to AutoDS. So they'll help you migrate your existing listings over to AutoDS if you're having trouble with it. What do you do if a customer misses the return by ship date set by eBay on a return? I don't accept the return. I don't accept it. No, they have 30 days. That's it. When will I come out with an Amazon virtual assistant course? I don't plan on it. I already have videos in the Amazon course about it, and I plan on adding more at some point. I'm not going to promise you when, but eventually there will be more videos in there about, I already have some in there about how to hire and train virtual assistants, but with the eBay virtual assistant course, one of the cool things about it is that I have training videos that you can just send to your virtual assistants, and they can use those videos, so you don't have to make training videos. I plan on doing that with the Amazon course, but I don't have a time frame for that right now, to be honest. But without a doubt, the Amazon course has everything you need to get started, And once those videos become available, any existing members of the Amazon course will, of course, get those for free. How often should we give raises to our virtual assistants? So I've actually been thinking about this a lot recently because I have a virtual assistant who's really crushing it, doing a great job. And I was kind of thinking, okay, like, should I be giving him a raise or not? Because I haven't really done a lot of raises in the past. I've done them like a couple times. And my thought was that raises make sense and bonuses make sense when you have a virtual assistant who's in a position where you don't want them to leave, where they're doing a great job, where the cost and headache of hiring a new virtual assistant and training that new virtual assistant would be so onerous that you want this virtual assistant to stay and you're willing to pay extra to make them stay. That's kind of the way that I thought about it. Now, of course, there's the other side of it, which is more like they're doing a great job and they deserve more money, right? But that's all tied up together. The fact that they're doing a good job also means that you don't want to lose them, because losing them means you have to train someone new. Or maybe they've brought a certain skill set that was really hard for you to find. They're doing something, doing it much better than anyone else, and that's really hard for you to find, where you don't want to have to then start over finding someone else. So that's when it might be worth it for you to pay them a little extra or give them a bonus. And I find that like the bonuses, what I've read rather, that the bonuses that work the best are the ones that aren't money, actually. Giving them actual items somehow. And I have this virtual assistant. I really want to give him something nice, so I'm trying to find a way to ship to the Philippines so I can get it to him. I'd also like to surprise him, but I don't know if that's going to happen because I need his address, obviously. So I'm going to look into that, maybe make a video about giving him that bonus, because I think that'd be pretty cool as well to kind of talk about bonuses. All right, guys, so that's a full hour there. So super glad you guys had so many amazing questions. Thanks everyone who came to hang out, and everyone who asked questions, everyone who asked questions during the week. Remember, guys, if you got any value out of this video, I would appreciate if you smash that like button down below. I would love for you guys to do that. It's like a free way for you guys to let me know that you're enjoying this content. And make sure to like the video again by clicking that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell next to it so that you get notified every time that I go live, so you can join us next week for the next live Q&A. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. And there'll be another video you can watch that will be linked up right here. You should definitely check out that one.